Welcome back, guys. In today's video, I'll be reviewing the new game Cyber Shadow developed by Mechanical Head Studios. Let's get into it. So I played this game on the Xbox Series X. I got it off Game Pass, which is a nice perk. It's on Game Pass day 1. It's also on Switch and PlayStation. It runs at 4K 120 on Xbox Series X and PS5, which is always great. I don't know what it runs on Switch, but probably not as good. But yeah, it ran great, so I really recommend getting this game if you want to test out your new console with the 120 FPS. So this game has been getting a lot of attention up to launch for a game in the genre, partly because it's published by the people who made Shovel Knight, which is a great game in this genre. It also has a cyberpunk theme, which is for obvious reasons very popular right now. And it is inspired by Ninja Gaiden, which is one of the greatest all-time classics in video games. And I think it does a great job being in that style of game, and it really improves on it. So, this game, you play as a cyber ninja named Shadow, who is facing a world taken over by robots and trying to get his clan back together. The story is not great, but this game is really all about the gameplay. If you're in a game for the gameplay, not a deep story or something, then this game is for you, because the gameplay is what really makes this game so good. The game starts off pretty simple. All you can do is slash with your sword and jump, which can be a little frustrating to start, but it also adds the difficulty because there are enemies coming at you from all angles, not just forward and back, which means there's a lot of times enemies are where you can't hit them. You have a blind spot under and above you, which can be very frustrating at times when enemies are coming from all over. But as the game goes on, you'll get more and more powers, such as shurikens, which is one of the first powers you get. So this game starts off simple, which gives you a nice sense of progression as you unlock a lot of power-ups along the way. I only got gameplay recordings of the shurikens. I might put some others that I found online of other kind of powers so you guys can see. But I mean, I didn't get this game early like a lot of the reviewers out there who already published it probably at like midnight as soon as they were allowed to. I had to wake up early in the morning to try to get as much gameplay and get as far in the game as possible. So I just turned off the recording eventually and just tried to go through the game really quickly. So as you can see, the shurikens, they add some range, which is nice, and there's even more powers along the way that really make the game really fun compared to the start. So don't worry if you find the game kind of a bit too simple to start, it gets much better. The next thing I want to talk about is the music in this game. The music in this game is awesome, it really fits the atmosphere, and I think it might be a contender so far. 2021 only started, we haven't seen that many games, for best music in a game for 2021 at the Game Awards, because this stuff is really good. I'll play a little clip for you right now. This music is really good, especially when you get to intense moments with only a few lives left and a lot of enemies ahead, because it really feels like you're in an action movie or something, which really adds to the atmosphere of cyberpunk. So next up is the artwork and graphics in this game. Of course, they're not the most modern. It's a 2D pixelated game, but they look really good and they really capture the atmosphere. You can see ruins or a city in the back, and you know you're going through factories or ruins or something. It's really good. A lot of games these days are focusing on like ray tracing and stuff, but sometimes it's nice just to have a solid atmospheric cyberpunk art style. Especially this pixel work is great. There's animated backgrounds, it's really nice. So it looks retro, but doesn't look old or outdated, which is the perfect balance in my opinion. One of the only downsides of this game, I would say, is the length, which is 7 to 8 hours for the main story. Of course, it depends how good you are, you can get stuck on some areas. It definitely took me a tiny bit longer just because I'm not as good at these games as some other games. But I think that's an okay length. I would have loved more. Most games these days are about 20 hours for the main story. Of course, I don't want a long one like Assassin's Creed, but it would have been nice maybe 4 more hours just to get it to 10 or something. So if we look at the price here, it is $25. So is it worth the price at that length? I would say yes. If you don't love these types of games, or you're not sure, maybe wait for it to go on sale. But your best bet is getting this off Game Pass. So if you have Xbox or PC and you have Game Pass, I definitely recommend getting it off here. And I just noticed this game's on Mac too. So if you want to have it more portable, but you don't want to play on a Switch, well, then you can get it on a Mac or on your laptop. So that's nice too. I just realized that. So yeah, I would say this game is worth the price if you're into these types of games. But if they're not your favorite, or if you don't know, I'd either get it on sale or off Game Pass. So yeah, this game's good. It's not quite worth that price if it's your first time playing this type of game. Okay, so I don't do number ratings on this channel just because I find that it's not very accurate, because you can't compare all games in every genre on the same scale. So I like to recommend whether you should buy this or not and who will like it. So I think everything about this game is so solid. The gameplay, the visuals, the soundtrack, it runs really well, but that length is a bit short for the $25 price tag. I can get a lot of games for $25 that are much longer, and you'll get a lot more time out of your money. However, if you like these types of 2D games, or even just 2D platformers in general, I think it is a must-buy, just because the soundtrack, the visuals, the gameplay, it's really solid game. I would say it might be the best game out of 2020 so far. Depends if you like the Hitman series or not. Just if you never played a game like this, maybe wait for sale unless you're really sure you want it, because that time, again, is a bit short for the money. And these games are not for everyone, that's for sure. This game's not too hard though, so it's a good entry point for this type of game. Some of the games in this genre are really, I would almost say, unfair in the difficulty. So this is a good entry level point for this type of genre. So yeah, if you never played a game like this before, get it off Game Pass or maybe wait for sale. If you have Game Pass, definitely, no matter what, try this game out, because I think it's very fun. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like. We're almost at 20 subscribers. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Comment down below if you got this, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.